Well, I see that it is time again for Valentine's things to be out in the stores. So I am searching for a palette for these cute little wood hearts I found at the Dollar Tree. And I think I'm not going to shy away from pink this year. So we have some really, really good looking ones with purples and golds and all sorts of options, even into the wine and browns range. But this one I think is pretty fantastic, and I'm going to probably stick to something close like one of these. So let's get started. All right, so these are the primary colors I used. I painted the background on my heart black. I have a playful pink, a blush, fuchsia pop, wild berry, berry cobbler, the 24 karat gold, a gold outlining pen, and the red one from Arteza. I left black and white out of the list here, but the black background and the white starts at the outline at the beginning, and we have a loop of it higher up in the mandala design. So first you're going to start by getting these hearts at the Dollar Tree. They're about 3 inches, and I painted the background black, and then I'm going to just start at the corner here at the base. So this is called Playful Pink. I am new to this paint, and it's like a holographic shimmer paint. So I have not used this one ever, so I'm taking it for a spin to kind of see what it does, and we'll see after it dries what it actually looks like as well. I don't know that I'm totally sold on it, but we'll see. Maybe some fluid to make it more fluid, some fluid medium, pouring medium might help. It is kind of clumping together and pulling away from the edge, but that might be what it's supposed to do. Now I'm going to take my angled spot detailer brush and come in here with white. And I'm going to keep these dots mostly uniform, so it's going to be the small end of your dotting stylus if you're using the tools. And I usually try to start with my dot in the center top and then space them out from the center top out. And you'll see if it goes off the edge here, I just kind of keep continuing as if the shape were whole. And that's kind of how I like to do my shapes. It's a fun challenge to try to stay within the confines of a shape with a mandala, but you'll see it looks pretty nice. Or you can do it without going to the edges and just keep it confined and make like a border on the edge too. It would just give your mandala a different look. So 2 rows of the white. And this is that super light baby blush pink. And I don't know if this company is in business anymore, but any light pink will do. This was called Gencrafts. And I have not seen them in a while, to be honest. And this paint is a little more fluid, so you'll see it start to spread. So if your paints are really fluid, if you seal your piece first, especially wood, then it makes it a lot easier to paint on without it bleeding into the wood. You can see some of the dots are a little like spiky. That's from the paint bleeding into the wood. So we'll do 2 rows of that pink, and you can see I'm doing slightly larger dots. Because it's more fluid, but as I work my way out, I'm going to go a little bit bigger with each. And this is the Fuchsia Pop in the Decoart line. This is actually a really impressive pink. It's got great coverage. There's never any show through. And you know, if I'm saying it, you guys who know me, I'm really just not a fan of pink over the years. So it has been a challenge when I'm adding it to pieces, but I'm pretty happy with this one and how it came out. And this Fuchsia Pop definitely is one of the newer colors, but I like it. So again, I'm just going a little bit bigger. So if you're using your dotting styluses, it's probably the 2mm size. If you have the rainbow set, it would be the larger end of the ball stylus. on the rainbow set. But obviously you don't have to follow exactly how I'm doing it. You can do your own sizes and add more rows and really make it your own. This is just a general fun guide. So see, this is about the size. This is a different set, but it's about 2 millimeters. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to grab that, and it's about the same size. I might have to push it around a little or add a little more paint when I'm loading the tool here, but it's about that same size as the 2 millimeter. And this next row, each time I do the second row, it's just going in between the first dots that we put down. So you can see that I did that, but just in explaining it here. And if I were to do this with the brushes, to do a larger size dot, you just push down a little bit harder to get the larger size dots. And see, like I said, because I didn't seal the wood ahead of time, I just kind of have to pull it into the space. Sometimes it starts to soak into the wood grain. I personally don't seal them often beforehand, just in case I need to etch some lines on there. So, ooh, that thing snuck right in there. I'm using the oval dotting tool here, and it's probably about the size of your pinky nail. The oval is a little bit larger, depending on the size of your fingers, but it's about the size of my pinky nail. And because the pattern would have kept going, I'm just going to go off the edge there. And I started at the top center and between those fuchsia dots, and then I skipped a space and then put another oval, and then I skipped a space, put another oval, so you're skipping some spaces in between. Going to come in here quick with the brush and do a round of the same color around. I thought I could steal it from the oval, that there might be enough paint, but I'm actually going to grab it from the palette here with a little bit more, loading the paint on the tool. And these are graduated a little bit, so larger dots at the top, and then as you work your way around, a lot of people call this walking the dots if you're new to this. And then I'm just going to work our way around this cute little oval with one round of this pink. All right, so sometimes I have to take a step back and just kind of decide what I want to do next here. So this is actually regular fuchsia, not the fuchsia pop. You can see it's a little more subdued. I don't think I had that at the initial list of our paints, but this is regular fuchsia on the Decoart line. And I just took a larger paintbrush and put a dot there of that. I'm coming in here. This would be your smallest dotting tool that you have. If you have the etcher tool, it would be that. Or really, really lightly load the small end of a dotting stylus. I'm just using a liner brush here with that baby blush pink and doing 3 dots below the fuchsia in between our ovals. So you can see that line I etched here. It will erase once I varnish, but I kind of just wanted to give myself just a quick estimated guideline here to pop these white dots in here to do an arc. But it will erase. I don't have to erase anything. It's not pencil, but also this is why I don't seal my things sometimes, and just in case I needed to etch a little guideline in there. I am not sure. I know a lot of people are using the chalk pencils. Maybe some of you guys could chime in if you use the chalk pencils to draw guidelines for yourself. Does it come off if you've already sealed a piece? Like you can just wipe it off, or does it even write on there if you have it sealed initially? I don't even know. Maybe I'll have to get one of those and check it out for myself. Seal something and see if you can write on it with the chalk pencils, because those do wipe right off. I've seen people just use those instead. All right, so there is our white, and you can see I'm just kind of working around the cutout heart on this piece of wood, just like the other edging. This is the Arteza paintbrush markers. You don't have to load them with paint. It's already in the tube, and it's pretty much a press and go on your way with whatever designs you want to make. So I'm just pressing them into petal shapes to play with them right now, like a teardrop shape. And I'm pushing it almost down to where the tip starts to get a little bit more solid, and work it all the way to the end there. And then I'm going to come back in and just do about half the press to make a little tinier teardrop shape and kind of have it sticking up off the other one, if you can see here. And so I'm not pushing down quite as hard. Similar to paintbrushes, these are a little bit easier. You don't have to reload anything. And then it made a border like this. So this is the etcher tool, and I'm just looking at this Playful pink that we put down, and it's starting to pull away from the edge and make like a purpley, sparkly edge. I don't really know what it's going to do. It's going to be a fun surprise once it's dry. So I'm just coming in here with the etcher tool, because looking at this space, I felt like we just need to bulk up this design just a little bit more. So the etcher is micro dots, and I'm using the white to just kind of come in the second row of white. See over here, it's too close. I don't want to force shoving a dot in there, so I'm probably just going to leave that row blank. But I'm going to probably carry it up here to the blush. So this is still the white. And we're just going to micro dot in between the blush. And I'm going to continue with the micro dotting up here, but I'm actually going to switch now to that blush pink. So remember, we talked about it being a little more fluid. You can see the dots are a little bit smaller, but I'm actually having to press it down in the wood. See how hard I'm actually pressing on it? See, the whole piece is moving when I press down, but I'm actually pressing it into the wood to get the color. Some people say that the micro dotting doesn't work for them, and my theory is that it's your paints. It doesn't adhere to the metal end as well, and then it's challenging to put down on a piece. So, you know, on the wood, you can press into it. So up here we have a little bit more space. I'm going to continue on with the blush, but we're going to do 2 dots in between each of the fuchsia pop ones here. And we're just tucking 2 at a time in between. Okay, so now I've switched colors to the fuchsia pop, and we're just tucking 2 dots of that fuchsia in between the larger dots here. And I could have done this before earlier on. Sometimes I just kind of see what the pattern wants, what it looks like it needs. But you could wait in between too so that your dots are dry so things don't bleed into one another. So this is my gold liner pen. I just got these off of Amazon recently to test out and see how they are. Sirach, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but I will post the links for everything I have as usual in the description for y'all. And this is their tiniest tip one. It did take a little bit to get it going with pumping and whatnot. So just a heads up if you're thinking on getting them. There's a learning curve just like with everything else. And so our LOVE here for our Valentine's Day themed item. I see a lot of things with words on them these days. Let's see. Well, that's not a big enough dot in there. So this is where I decided to grab the 24 karat gold extreme sheen. And it gives us a little more pop of sparkly color here, you can see. And the extreme sheens, I will caution you, I don't know if it's the glitter in it or what the consistency, but there's a thicker consistency to them. So be very careful when you're utilizing these. You can see that string that comes up as I detach from whatever I'm painting. See the string here? Let it drop back into the dot so that you don't pull it away really quick, because it will just leave a big string right across whatever you're painting. The glitter gets everywhere, as you probably all know, so it's hard to clean off or paint over again after. So just a word of caution. And a nice gold or something without glitter, yellow, would have worked just as well in here. Just needed a different dynamic with the colors. And see, that playful pink still is just kind of doing its thing down there. I'm going to wait and see after the fully dry version what it looks like. But there is our fun little Valentine heart. I know it's early, but the stores already had them out, so I figured I'd grab them and do them. So here's our things that we've used. Oh, I did put the royal fuchsia in there. Maybe at the beginning I called it berry cobbler. It's the regular fuchsia. I'll have to go back and correct that. Sruolok. Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Sruolok. Chrome markers. All right, so I will put all these in the description for y'all. I hope you had fun doing this quick little heart with me. And it is quick. It only took me probably about 25 minutes, but these things are kind of like candy where you can one-off them and enjoy finishing something in a small amount of time, or while you're watching a TV show, something like that, and have some fun little magnet or ornaments to put around. So here it is, totally dry. It never actually pulled away or did anything more with the purple. So I'm not sure if maybe I should have just put a thinner coat and then it would have done that playful glittery purple, or what I should do. I'm going to have to play with this one some more, but like I said, thanks for checking these new things out with me. And as always, I wish you all happy painting. Have a great day.